She couldn't walk. A single dad did what billionaire doctors couldn't. Mom collapsed in tears. ****. The little girl lay still on the hospital bed, her thin legs covered by a pale blue blanket, her eyes fixed on the cracked ceiling above. Outside the room, machines hummed softly, like they were whispering secrets no one wanted to hear. She may never walk again, the doctor had said moments earlier, his voice calm, practiced, almost emotionless. For him, it was just another case. For Daniel Hale, standing alone in the hallway with his hands trembling, it felt like the end of the world. He didn't cry. He couldn't. Because if he did, there would be no one left to be strong. Daniel had never imagined his life would shrink down to hospital corridors, medical bills, and unanswered prayers. 5 years earlier, his wife, Sarah, had been the heart of their home, laughing, cooking, dancing with their daughter Lily in the living room. Then one rainy evening, everything changed. A careless driver. A sudden crash. Sarah survived, but her health never fully recovered. The stress, the trauma, and an undiagnosed heart condition slowly wore her down. One morning, while making breakfast, she collapsed on the kitchen floor. Daniel still remembered Lily's scream echoing through the house. From that day on, Sarah was fragile, and Daniel became everything: father, mother, nurse, and provider. Lily had been 6 when the accident happened, the one that took away her ability to walk. A school bus skid on wet pavement, metal screaming against concrete. She survived, but her spine was badly injured. The doctors tried everything. The best specialists. The most advanced equipment. Daniel sold his car, his tools, even his wedding ring to pay for treatments. Billionaire-funded hospitals examined her case. Famous surgeons shook their heads. "We've done all we can," they said. Hope for a miracle. Hope, Daniel learned, was the most expensive word in the world. Every day after work, Daniel would rush to Lily's room. He worked 2 jobs, construction by day, cleaning offices by night. His hands were always rough, his eyes always tired, but when Lily smiled at him, something inside him healed. He would sit by her bed, tell her stories, help her with homework, and massage her legs gently, even though doctors said it wouldn't change anything. "Daddy," Lily once asked softly, "do you think my legs are broken forever?" Daniel swallowed hard and forced a smile. "No, sweetheart," he said. "They're just resting. And one day, they'll wake up." Sarah watched all of this from her wheelchair near the window. Guilt crushed her heart daily. She felt useless, trapped in her own weak body while her husband destroyed himself trying to save their child. Many nights, she cried silently, praying that God would take her pain instead and give Lily a normal life. She blamed herself for everything: the accident, Daniel's exhaustion, Lily's suffering. She felt like a burden. Some days, the sadness pressed so hard on her chest that she could barely breathe. Months turned into years. Lily grew older, her legs thinner, her hope quieter. Daniel noticed it in small ways: how she stopped asking about walking, how she avoided watching other kids play outside, how her drawings no longer showed her running. One night, after putting Lily to sleep, Daniel sat alone in the kitchen, staring at a stack of unpaid bills. His hands shook. His chest felt tight. For the first time, a dangerous thought crossed his mind: what if I can't do this anymore? That night, something changed. The next morning, Daniel didn't go to work. Instead, he wheeled Lily into the backyard. The grass was damp with dew, the air cool and fresh. He sat her on a bench and knelt in front of her. "We're going to try something new," he said. Lily looked confused. "Did the doctor say it's okay?" she asked. Daniel smiled gently. "This isn't for doctors," he said. "This is for us." Every day after that, Daniel created his own routine. He read everything he could find: old rehabilitation books, online forums, stories of recovery no one talked about on TV. He couldn't afford special equipment, so he built his own using scrap wood, ropes, and pulleys. He gently exercised Lily's legs, talking to her the whole time, encouraging her, laughing with her, never showing fear. Some days, Lily cried in pain. Some days, Daniel cried alone in the bathroom so she wouldn't see. But they never stopped. Sarah watched from the window, her heart torn between hope and fear. She was terrified of disappointment. She had seen too many miracles promised and too many dreams shattered. One afternoon, overwhelmed by guilt and exhaustion, her heart condition worsened. She collapsed again, this time in the living room. Daniel rushed her to the hospital, Lily watching silently from her wheelchair, fear in her eyes. Doctors stabilized Sarah, but warned Daniel that stress could kill her. "You need to slow down," they said. Daniel nodded, but inside, he knew he couldn't. Weeks later, something unbelievable happened. "It started with a twitch, Daddy," Lily whispered one afternoon during their routine, her voice shaking. "I think I felt something." Daniel froze. "Where?" he asked carefully. "My foot," she said, eyes wide. Daniel didn't react. He didn't celebrate. He just nodded and continued, afraid that hope would disappear if he touched it too hard. But that night, when Lily was asleep, Daniel broke down. He fell to his knees and cried like he hadn't in years. Progress was slow. Painful. Exhausting. But it was real. Months later, with Daniel holding her tightly, Lily stood up for the first time in years. Her legs shook violently. Sweat poured down Daniel's face as he supported her weight. "I'm scared," Lily whispered. "I know," he said. "But I've got you." She took one step. Then another. Sarah, watching from the doorway, covered her mouth. Her knees gave out, and she collapsed to the floor, not from weakness, but from overwhelming emotion. Tears streamed down her face as she watched her daughter walk toward her father, each step a miracle no doctor had been able to give. News spread quickly. Doctors were stunned. Specialists wanted explanations. Cameras showed up. People called Daniel a hero. But when asked how he did it, he simply said, "I refused to listen to the word impossible. I just loved my daughter harder than fear." Sarah's health improved, not because of medicine, but because hope returned to her heart. She no longer felt like a burden. She felt like a witness to love, resilience, and faith. Lily eventually walked on her own. Not perfectly. Not easily. But proudly. Years later, Lily stood on a stage, walking confidently to a microphone, telling her story to thousands. Daniel sat in the audience, older now, hands still rough, eyes still tired, but shining. Sarah held his hand, tears in her eyes. Lily smiled and said, "Billionaire doctors tried to fix my legs. But my dad fixed my heart first. And my heart taught my body how to stand." The room fell silent, because everyone there understood one powerful truth: sometimes, love does what money, medicine, and miracles cannot.